Mm. Hey, how's everyone doing? Okay, so today we're going to talk about, how do I put this? A common statement or question would be, who do you follow? I've always talked about in the writings and to you guys that we only have the light and the dark. And we know Yeshua says, let your light shine. Okay, so Thoth said, the writings of Thoth said, let your light shine. Yeah, not directly, but we got the point. And so when I was in the world, in the darkness, doing what darkness does, and I decided that I wanted to not do the darkness, I went the route of Yeshua in the context that I became a disciple. Okay. And as a disciple, a student, I've learned very quickly that Yeshua did not have a church. Yeshua had students, and he was educating his students for spiritual battles. And because Yeshua was educating his students on spiritual battles, let's go through the process so we can all be on the same page, because I really want you guys to get this, considering what I'm teaching you and the conflict that others are going to have with you. So let's look at Matthew 16:24. Then Jesus unto his disciples. Now the word disciples just translate as student. His students, disciples, if any man come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. So the requirements that a lot of people don't understand when they say, I want to commit myself to Yeshua, Jesus. The first thing you must do is, if you decide to come after me, Yeshua, let him deny himself. Yeshua is in two parts. He is a healer and he's a teacher. If you come to him as a healer, then yes, he can. There's writings that state, if you believe in this, yes, okay. As a student, you have to deny yourself. What does that deny yourself? Deny yourself means it's not about you. You have to commit yourself over to the teachings. You have to commit yourself over to the things that needs to be learned and to do the very things that needs to be done to do the work. So in one hand, Yeshua has said, give up everything. Yeshua is the one who sets this program. So as a student, when I came to Yeshua in the very beginning, and I've examined quite a few others like Buddhism, Hinduism, Muslims, all of those. And for me, it wasn't that what they were teaching was right or wrong. No, it was the idea that I knew at the time I was serving the darkness and I wanted to serve the light. How do I serve the light? What is the light and how do I serve the light? And quite honestly, none of them had that answer. Yeshua, on the other hand, stated, be the light. Okay, well, let me That's what I want. Be the light. So the first thing is I came to him. I have to deny myself. I can do that. I'm a student. I'm 100% student. It's not about me. Then, and take up his cross. The cross in the representation is death. Death in this context as a student. It is not burial death. It is the death that is of your family, your friends, your co-workers. The cross represents death, and death as a student is you're going to go against everyone, and you're going to die from them. You are, trust me, just trust me. And after you take up the cross, follow me. So if I was to follow Yeshua in today's time, what do I do, Yeshua? Well, then he said in John 14, let's look at that one. Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. Verily, verily, look, guys, I say unto you, he that believes on me, the works that I do, shall he do also. Let's examine it. He that believes on me. So if I, today, many thousands years later, believe on Yeshua, if you believe on Yeshua, then, believe on me, the work that I do. What am I supposed to believe on Yeshua? The work that I do, I should do also. I should do also. And greater than these shall he do, that I do. And greater works than these shall I do, because I go unto my Father. Okay, he 2.5 some thousand years ago, he passed away. That's true. He went on to his Father. I'm a student, and I'm looking at this and I'm asking myself, okay, fine. Greater work shall I do, because I believe he did what he did because his Father was in him and he was in his Father. Greater work shall you do, and greater work shall I do. Okay. What must I do then to get the clear understanding of this process of doing greater works? Well, there's a couple of things. One, the first thing is to realize the greater work is not the quality of the work. It is the timeline of the work. Meaning, Yeshua had 3+ years on this earth doing his work, the ministry work. Okay. I started the process of being a student in 2000. This is 2000. No. 2000. This is now 2024. This is 2024. So 2000, I started. 24 is today. Greater works I should have done than Yeshua because of this time. Okay? But in order to do the work, it is not just a belief. It's a belief in him, meaning he's the master. And as a master, I need to believe in the master, in what he did. And as he did what he did, I need to go to number 2. Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. There's a process of what Jesus did as the works. The true understanding of Yeshua doing his work is to understand I need to believe in the fact that the Father is in him and he's in the Father. And that's what applied the work. And I need to believe in that process. And if that's the true process, then I need the Father in me. And I need to be in the Father to do the works. And that is a conflict, because that's what Christianity doesn't teach. In fact, Christianity is a very dangerous thing. Everybody knows these things. Why is Christianity a dangerous thing? Christianity is a dangerous thing, not by itself. It's a dangerous thing because when you follow Yeshua as a student, you clearly realize there is a difference between the light and the darkness. There is a spiritual realm that's out there, and the spiritual realm has rankings, and there is a God for the light, and then there's a God for the darkness. And we start to see this, and you start to get into this, and then you'll look at the Christianity as a whole, and you'll realize that Christianity is worshiping pagans. And if Christianity is worshiping pagans, like for an example, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, we know in theology, we know that each one of those, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, are pagan gods. And those gods has been indoctrinated into what we call as Christianity. So even if you don't worship the day of these days, you're worshiping a god of the day. Just because Christianity has converted the original intent of the God of Christmas and said, hey, this is when Yeshua was born, which we know he wasn't born in winter. Or, right? The fact that they changed names doesn't change the fact that the spirit of the day is in existence. The fact of Easter, you changed the name, doesn't change the gods of the day. And so in this context, you have to carry your cross. You have to carry your cross, because when you start noticing these things, people are going to... Okay. Now, let's go back. Understanding the work. So let's talk about the Father's in me. I'm in the Father. If the Father's in me, I'm in the Father. What is the Father? How do I get the Father? Oh, it's called the Ghost, the Holy Ghost. If you don't know what that is, look at my other videos. When you get the Holy Ghost, in this context, the Father is the teacher. The teacher is the Ghost, the Holy Ghost, in the coming out of the light, the heaven. It's a ghost. Once you receive the Ghost, you got the teacher. Okay, Yeshua is a master teacher. The Ghost is the teacher. And as the teacher, the Father is in me, and I am in the Father, works shall we do. Now, in this context, if you don't have a teacher, then the works you do is in vain. I've done wonderful works in your name, Jesus. I've healed, Jesus. I prophesied, Jesus. And Jesus will say, I know you not. Why? Because the Father, the ghost, is not in you and you not in the Father. Because if that was the case, you would not be doing anything. You would not be doing anything. The ghost says, take me here. The ghost says, heal them. The ghost says, do this. The ghost says, don't do that. The ghost will direct yourself. That's why the ghost is important. It takes you out of the responsibility of doing what you do. Thus, if the Father is in you and you in the Father, works shall come across. What works now? Let's look at the works. Let's do Matthew 10. Matthew 10 is Yeshua's work. Now, as you go, verse 7, as you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. What did I teach you thus far? The kingdom is at hand. Okay. Excuse me. 8, heal the sick. So it's not we're stopping at the preaching aspect. And even if we do preach and we're preaching about the kingdom is at hand, we're not stopping there. And that's where a lot of people, so-called spiritual people, are doing. They're giving you the word, but then they stop right there. And the reason they stop right there is because they don't know how to do this. What? Heal the sick, verse 8. Cleanse the leopard, raise the dead, cast out devils. 4 things. Heal the sick, cleanse the leopards. The sick is internal. The leopards is external. Raise the dead. Internal, bringing a spirit in the body. Casting out demons, taking a spirit out of the body. Freely ye have received. Somebody had to teach you for you to receive it. Freely give as the Holy Ghost directs you. The reason a lot of spiritual people is only preaching, and if they preach the kingdom is at hand, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, yes, and they stop there, is because they have not found a teacher to receive how to heal the sick, cleanse the leper, raise the dead, cast out the devils. Thus, they can't freely give healing the sick, cleanse the leper, raise the dead, cast out devils. And so a lot of preachers, I'm pretty sure some of you guys know too, are doing an excellent job preaching to a God I don't know who, but when it comes to healing, they don't know how, because they have not received that knowledge. They have not gone out to a teacher to teach them that knowledge. And once you understand the knowledge, you get the ghost, the Holy Ghost, and you, the driver, the passenger, the guardian angel, another passenger, the Holy Ghost, all unclean spirits out, please. We kicked them out, remember? We kicked them out. And so now, therefore, we're doing the works. And in 2000, let's say now 2010, greater works I do is 2024. Greater works I shall do. So if you ask me, who do you believe in? Who do you worship? Who do you follow? As a man who is a temple of a spirit that was created by a creator, I give this spirit, I dedicate this spirit to the light. And Yeshua said, let this spirit in this body, in this temple, shine. Let the light shine. Okay. If you ask who am I a follower of as a student, because we're always learning, always should be learning, then I am a student of Yeshua. I am a student of Thoth. I am a student of King Solomon. I'm sorry, but I have not been a student from all the other religions. What does that mean? That means as a student of King Solomon and a student of Thoth and a student of Yeshua, I understand all other religions. I understand the table, and I understand the worship. I understand the calling. I understand the working with those spirits and God. But for me, I'm very comfortable as a student, learning this, doing the work with the Holy Ghost, the guardian angel, and me on this earth, carrying the cross. But I'm committed to the light. Okay? So I'm not Christian. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not a true follower of Yeshua. I was a student of Yeshua, not a follower of Yeshua. Why? Yeshua, to follow Yeshua is to get to a point that greater works shall you do. So there has to come a time where you go to Yeshua, you get with the knowledge, you learn how to, where is that in Matthew 10? Heal the sick. You learn how to cleanse the leper, raise the dead, cast out demons, receive the Holy Ghost. We learn these things, and then you graduate Yeshua, and you go on and go on and go on. Okay, so that's what I do, and that's what I'm teaching. Am I teaching anything of the dark side? No. Could you serve the dark side with what I'm teaching you? Yes. Because thus, up until now, I tried to get you to understand there are a difference between the light and the dark. I'm hoping you start serving the light. But the tools it's just tools. It's just tools. That's all it is. It's just tools. So what we're doing and what I would like to do moving forward for a little while is we talked about the Holy Ghost, and we'll get more in depth into how to receive the Holy Ghost, which if you bought the books, you already know how, later. And I think you already understand in Matthew 16, if you come after me, deny yourself. I think you can understand how that works. Carry up the cross. I think some of you are committed to the point of following Yeshua in this context and follow me. And then I think you already know about the ghost and the relationship with Yeshua and the works. And so therefore, I think the only thing to do is to freely you have received. Let me give you so you can receive, so you can freely give to help others. So I'm going to take my time, but in verse 8 in Matthew 10, I'll show you what it means. I'm not going to get into the point of in depth with that, not over this platform, but I'm just going to enlighten you to it of what it means to heal the sick, cleanse the leper, raise the dead, and cast out devils. So you'll have that knowledge, and along with the angel and the Holy Ghost, wherever you go, you'll know how to help somebody. And if you can help somebody in this manner, then by definition, yeah, you're a student of Yeshua, and yes, you're following Yeshua. All right, guys, that's all I have today. I hope that I said something that helps you bring a comfort to what we're doing. And it's okay if it's not. This is not for everyone. But if it is, if this is something it is, you already know what the 4 subjects that we're going to talk about. And we'll go from there. All right, guys. Let me know what you guys think, need. And we'll go from there. All right, guys. Bye-bye.